Disclaimer, I, John of John Productions, am not a professional certified diver or free diver, nor am I legally qualified to give advice on the matter being. So please take any and all advice / action presented on this channel or in this video in which done by me personally with a grain of salt. Do not attempt to recreate any action in the showcase material in which may result in harm at home. Make sure to seek professional help when personally going out to engage in similar activities presented in the following. All the advice is given from personal experience or from what I have observed, yet this does not qualify me enough to properly give advice on the matter being. Enjoy the video and stay safe, fellas.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Currently I'm editing the video that you're watching right now. I don't know if you just catch a glimpse of that, but nonetheless, pretty much the reasons why I haven't uploaded as much as I would like to, it wasn't from like a lack of effort or anything. It's more so like an accumulation of like many like either small things or major things, and I'll make sure to just talk about it real quick. Some of the reasons include like recently I just got back from like a 1 month trip in the mainland, or at least where my mom lives in Maryland. You can't really go spearfishing or anything that I like to do, right? And I felt like I was just gonna take this opportunity to spend it with my family. Some other reasons include like when I actually get to spearfish, being washed out from like the water conditions such as waves. I remember this one time I got washed out from maybe like 5 or 6 footers. It didn't look like that in the video, but trust me, here we go. Another reason why I haven't been able to upload as frequently as I'd like is because like I've been missing a lot of like fish shots. I'll cue that right now. As you can see, like those are shots that anyone really could have made, but yeah. Now that you guys get where I'm coming from, in this video today, I'm gonna be diving on the east side of Oahu. Like one of my favorite spots, or kind of like the neighbor of one of my favorite spots. It's kind of like a new spot to me. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I'm working on like a couple like series. I might work on like a little documentary. I'm gonna be posting a couple catch and cooks with the fish in this video, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Hear them screaming out your name. Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you bleed, far-reaching greatness, relentless, you will survive. You never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. Keeping their boats are riding too small when the fire is big. Survive. Legends never die. When the world is coming in, can you hear them
Alright, what's up, guys? Hopefully you guys have been alright since the last time I seen you. But nonetheless, in this dive, as you just seen, I had a little mirror. That's how I checked to see if my GoPro was recording. And right about now is when I would be like scouting the new ground. This being it's a new spot. But I'm starting to take my warm-up drops and I'm starting to stretch my lungs. If you guys are wondering, like, what does it mean to stretch your lungs? Is that like some type of yoga position? I'm here to answer that. The simple answer is no and yes. It's not a set yoga position to stretch your lungs. It's more so you do your breathe up at the top, and I'll explain what that is later on. The name kind of goes for it, but what I do, I look at the ground, see for like any structures such as like caves, sand pockets, and all that. As you can see right here, there's a little ridge line. I checked it out, and I seen a little sand spot in the distance with some nice structure, and I decided to go check it out. And for the most part, when I go into like new grounds, I don't hold any like obligations. Oh, I have to get this species and this fish, and it has to weigh this much. I really just go there. It's when I spearfish. I call it diving because I don't really care too much about the stuff I get. Obviously, if I shoot something, I really appreciate it a lot. But majority of the times when I'm diving, I'm really just going there to get out the house and just free up my mind, you know. Now this has created kind of something interesting for a Holly boy like myself. Whereas something I'm not really culturally accustomed to has become my outlet or like my way that I kind of escape reality, if you will. This comes in handy a lot whenever life throws things my way, whether it's like breakups or college or like gym, like anything like from super small to super big, diving's my outlet. Because with diving, like throughout the day, I have like millions and millions of thoughts. My brain gets super overflooded over like use, and pretty much my brain is always in hyperdrive, right? But then when I go diving, I can think one thing at a time. I can control my body functions to lower my heart rate, and this makes it so everything else when it comes to diving, anything in the water, anything that I experience, anything that happens in general is just a plus, you know. It's really a gift to be able to dive these lands, this island that everyone spends their whole entire life savings, just spent 2 weeks. Alright, what's up guys? So pretty much in this clip right here, this is the sand, or my bad, the sand pit I spotted earlier that I wanted to tell you guys about and show you like the structure I was looking for. So usually around these little cave systems they have these sand pits, and usually like some type of cave, and these are good for holding like minpachi and smaller fish that are really like delicacy. And as I peeked through, I saw like 2 to 4 kumu swimming by. And if you didn't know, that's the type of goldfish. And as you just seen, I lined up, but sadly I missed. But at this point, I don't think I realized I missed. And I'll kind of break down why. As you see, I'm kind of swimming the other way to I'm swimming the other way to get all the slack out of my shooting line, just so I don't get tangled in it. And yeah, just an overall good safety and practice. If anyone has ever been tangled in shooting line, it's not necessarily the most relaxing feeling, you know. So as I dove down, I thought I for sure shot it, because the string was kind of wrapped up on the top of the cave. And usually, like when fish fight, that tends to happen. But nah, sadly, when I looked through the cave on the other end of my spear, I shot nothing but a wahoo. Now, usually on the contrary, if I shoot something, I'll take it home and eat it. But personally, in my experience, rocks don't really hold up too much flavor when cooked. But I'll make sure to come back within like 6 weeks or something once they're fully matured. Then it's grind time. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like a catch and cook on that. So pretty much right here, if any of you guys have questions on how to wrap your spear gun, if your gun is similar to mine where it's like a pipe gun, this is like a Picasso, but it's a very generic like build. What you do, you put your spear in underneath the bands obviously, and then you wrap it around the first initial pin, and then around the body, around the spear and down. Depending if you have a reel, you want to wrap it around the side of the reel, then back up. And if you have a double wrap, you just repeat that process. And so right here, the technique I use, as I put the base of the gun in my hand, I reach over for the bands and I try to connect my fist to tighten the band. And then I put the base of the gun onto my chest and pull the band back until I can put it on my chest, and I pull it back completely. It takes some getting used to. It's gonna be hard at first, a little awkward, but once you get used to it, you're gonna love it. So on this drop, this is me taking my second attempt on these kumus, and as I looked in this cave, no really life to be seen, but I end up coming back to this cave later on in the video, and will I get redemption? Will I not? Will I eat today? Will I not? You'll find out in the next episode of In the Adventures of Holy Boy. Now, all of that stuff aside, I'm gonna take you behind the process or my thought process when I go into these dives. So, my first couple drops at depth, this isn't really the same dive, but I decided to throw it in just as a point to make demonstration. But for the most part, my first drops at depth, I consider depth anything really past 15 feet. It's really personal preference. For someone more experienced, like Ryan Myers, for him, depth is probably something way crazier than mine. His depth is probably like my PR, you know. But for the most part, on my warm ups, maybe from like 0 to like 15 feet, I'd probably take 3 to 4 depending on how I'm feeling on that day. And I just practice the fundamentals, including simple things such as body language, my breathe up slash breathing technique, lowering my heart rate, gear check, and pretty much anything I would do throughout the dive, such as like overall like mindset, or I try to tell myself to relax, it's gonna be okay. Now in this clip, as you see, My floating line, which is my initial line that's connected to my buoy, is around 30 feet, and my anchor line, which is the little thin white one, is a little more than like a foot or so, and that's what connects to my anchor. You'll see that lead weight later. And right here, I believe this is Brady or Lewis diving. Shout out to those guys, they're amazing divers, way better than me by far. It was a pleasure to dive with you guys. If you guys are watching this, what's up? We should go dive another time soon. Maybe I'll get some rest the night before, you know? If you know, you know. For this drop right here, this is one of my first initial warm-up drops, and I'm kind of going to take you behind the process of it. From the surface, I'm really just trying to catch my breath, slow my heart rate down to around underneath at least 100 BPM. So on this dive particularly, I don't know if it was because I didn't sleep that night or what was up, but this bottom felt deep, even though it was probably only like 30 to like 40 feet at max. When I hit the bottom, my lungs were screaming. And now this may be because, as I previously mentioned, I didn't sleep, but it was really like, as the day went on, it was kind of like a sense of regret and fatigue kicking in, kind of fighting against my like inner self, just jumping around that I get to dive, like so hyped. Yet I'm kind of conflicted with this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so at this point, I pretty much try to exhale as much CO2 as I can, and I call these hook breaths. So pretty much when you hold your breath for a while, your body, a byproduct of oxygen is CO2. And from my understanding, this is what makes your lungs feel so heavy. You feel like they're about to tear at the bottom, feel like they're about to explode internally. This CO2 buildup, from my understanding, CO2 is less dense compared to oxygen. I may be wrong, but as your body starts to convert oxygen into CO2, it starts to expand, thus giving your lungs this feeling that they're about to explode, and what I call the screaming lung syndrome. So as you can see here, the float line is pretty slack, and as of right now, I'm just focusing on lowering my heart rate. I'm pretty much doing my breathe up technique right now, and which is pretty much 3 big inhales and exhales followed with a couple of short choppy breaths, what I call
water breathing. Fourth form. Striking tide.
because for one, it regulates my heart rate at first, causing me to slow down my heartbeats to a regulation level. Alright, so pretty much back to the clips from the day of the dive. From the surface, I spotted this cave. I decided I might as well go down and check it out, see what life has to hold inside. Because with these caves, you never know, there might be some Empachi, a lot of game life in there that you wouldn't normally expect. But as you'll see when I get down there, it's not really what I would expect. So I decide it's best not to do much and just conserve my energy for the next spot. And right here, this is me taking another drop on a cave or some type of structure, and there's not really that much life. And usually when I like go down to the ground, what I search for is like a lot of structure in these caves, and I really just search for like possible signs of life. So as you see right here, I'm kind of hunting these small fish, or like these school of fish right here. Not that I want to take them home, but it's kind of that I like play the game when it comes to these schools of fish, you know? So just the basic step by step on my drops. What I do at the surface is I do like my little breathe up technique, as I'll get into, or that I've got into during the video. Then I do my duck dive, which is me initiating my descent. And then on the bottom, I try to grab onto some sort of structure to anchor myself. And usually that's my non-dominant hand or my non-shooting hand, as that, and the other hand will be my spear gun. Also, what I forgot to mention from the surface, for all those people that want to get into like YouTube and stuff, I highly encourage you, just so you can learn another skill. But also, the reason I brought that up is just because I turn on my camera before I drop down. Alright, so right here I'm pretty much doing my job as a Spearo, as in I feel it's my duty to look over the land, not only take but to give back when I can. My general rule is 2 for 1, being that I do 2 positives for every 1 gift I receive, such as like a fish or a taco. And 2 good deeds I'll do is like I'll pick up some Apollo or some trash off the ground, or I'll take an invasive off the reef. And as you can see right here, I'm cutting a fishing line that had a big old hook. And looking at the rig setup, it looked like they were fishing for an Alua, like a sliding rig. So there's probably a story behind the reason why this tore off. Whether it got snagged or maybe like a fat fish bit it and eventually it just died or whatever. But yeah, as you can see right here, I'm winding it up. It's a lot of like cord that was just chilling on the bottom. And then whenever I pick up these fishing weights, I always reuse them when I go fishing. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of like prone to lose a lot of stuff. So this is kind of like me taking back, but also giving back at the same time, if that makes sense. And now I'm just putting away the weights. Like if I have like a clip where I'm grabbing weights, I always put it in this little fanny pack. Alright, so pretty much right here, same thing. Found a little lead weight with I think a spark plug as well. And I decided to pick it up, get it off the reef.
What happened? Oh, where?
Alright, so as I go to check out this hole that Dexter spotted the 7-Eleven crab in, I personally have never found one of these crabs or a crab in general in the water that I can take. Obviously, there's like the ama crab and stuff, but I don't really ever harvest those. Right here, my thought process was I'll kind of get it out like a taco, but it proved to be way more difficult than I thought. I didn't have the guts to like shove my hand in there and pull out the crab. So eventually, after like 2 hours of trying to get this crab out, what it felt like, eventually we ended up getting it out. But I don't think my camera recorded it. But I think there's a video later on. You'll see it in like my mesh bag and stuff.
How do you think I get him out? Just grab him? Yeah, yeah. Alright.
Alright, so in this clip right here, the legend himself, poke him and smoke him on Instagram. Make sure to include his like socials in the description. This is my man Dexter. He decided to take a drop on the fish himself. So we'll see how it goes. Or the crab, my bad. You guys should really consider like checking out his Instagram or his TikTok, as he's pretty much like the taco god when it comes to like finding octopus and taco eye and stuff. You'll be able to learn a lot from his like videos. Now, me and Dex each probably took like 5 drops at this point at the crab. And right now, what the game plan is, use the back of the 3-prong, twist it, and kind of use it as like a snare to pull the crab out. So unfortunately, no luck on that try either, but we eventually ended up getting it. I just didn't get it on camera. Yeah, right here I just picked up my little anchor. I'm checking to see if my GoPro's on, a little equipment check as I'm about to head out to depth. And right here I just pick up a little bit of lead that I see on the ground, and I'm gonna reuse it when I go fishing. This is me pretty much putting it away. So as you can see right here, I have the 7-Eleven crab in the bag. It's pretty decent sized. Alright, so pretty much on this drop right here, I seen this beautiful reef structure out here. As you can see on my left side, it's kind of like this huge like wall that all these fish are kind of gravitated towards. And I was kind of trying to play this school, as I was mentioning earlier. Like when you like hunt these small school of fish, oftentimes the bigger game will come in. So that's why like if you see me like acting like I'm hunting these fish that are smaller and less desirable, I'm not like hunting them specifically. I'm hunting what could happen. That being, if they're attracted and swim towards me, typically a bigger game will follow. And in this clip right here, same concept when it comes to hunting the smaller group of fish. I usually just do that to work on my hunting skills, and if that can attract them, I usually can attract bigger fish later on in my dive. So this is kind of like a warm-up stretch, if you will. So this table boss is spotted from the surface, and then as I zoned in on it, I was able to shoot it from above, landing the stone shot. 1 shot, 1 kill, PP caught it for days. Even though it's fish, if you get that quote, you a real one. But when you eliminate a fish upon the shot, that's usually what a stone shot is called, either resulting in a direct shot to the brain, heart, like a vital organ, or breaking the stem. In this case, I'm pretty sure I shot through the brain. And this table toss is pretty significant. It was about 1 shaka width and distance. But yeah, after I landed this fish, I remember I was so stoked. I finally broke the dry spell after like 3 months of like getting eliminated practically out of the water, getting washed out. And now I have a table boss, and I've never actually eaten one of these before this. I just know they're really good. And when I fried it up, I have a catch and cook on this coming up soon. God, it was so good. I highly recommend anyone trying it out. And for those of you who may be wondering like what recipe I cooked up, it was a beer batter style fish taco. So as I approach my buoy, I go to grab my fish stringer to put the fish on my kui. And a kui is the same thing as a fish stringer. The term kui is just like a local slang term for it. Alright, then right here, I was just trying to pretty much get my spear off the fish, but it was stuck pretty good, so I decided just to put it inside the bag and kind of just like pull it off the bag. Kind of if I was like spearing like a lionfish in those type of containers, how you pull it off. Then I pretty much just close on my zipper and on to the next. So as I take this drop right here, I spotted like a school of kala. I decided I might as well take my chance on them. As kala are kind of like a local delicacy and they're pretty much fail proof when it comes to cooking. The only thing I would kind of be worried about is like if you get a gut shot, I recommend gutting it. A boiled buckaroo, I'll tell you what, that smell of the guts is not for the faint of heart. And my goal for like hunting this school of kala was kind of keep my distance, grunt, work on my hunting tactics, hopefully attract in some bigger ones, but it just didn't really play out in my favor. But nonetheless, I actually did a catch and cook on one of these fish, and I'll make sure to plug that right here. Okay, so as I took a drop over here, this was kind of one of the more interesting dives of the day. You see right now I'm kind of checking my goggles and my goggles are very fogged up. These are new goggles. They're overall great goggles. They can hold my GoPro, pretty much work perfectly. I just haven't really busted them in yet. But they are Hammerhead. Shout out to Hammerhead. I also got Hammerhead fins. Hammerhead's kind of like a local company. It's a Hawaii. They produce like amazing quality products. I highly recommend. This is actually my second pair of goggles and they work like a beaut. And right here, I kind of noticed this little cave system, and it's kind of hard to see, but there was a little minpachi. I tried to take a shot, but I guess I didn't really line it up as properly as I should have. I didn't really take my chance. I didn't really take my time and like relax and let the situation develop. But yeah, as I went up, I think it was the next dive. I'm not sure if I caught it on camera, but there was a black tip or a white tip shark that swam out. It wasn't really too big. It was probably like 5 feet. It was weird. It was only like a single. Usually I've seen them in like doubles around here. But I guess it's also because it's like breeding season at the moment. And my last dive I went on, I came across two big old hammerheads. And I'll make sure to make a video pretty soon of like all my shark encounters. I think I ran into like 6 or 7 sharks so far within like a year and a half of diving, maybe 2 years now. And I think I caught 3 of those encounters on camera. I'll let you guys know, I'll keep you guys updated on the video. And right here, I pretty much dropped down to like re-secure my gun. I think the shooting line got stuck on a rock as I was coming up, so I kind of shook it and it kind of came free, so it was lucky. I didn't have to take another drop. But I remember after this, I was kind of like, yo, Dexter, come over here. Can you help me while I drop down to go get my gun? There's a shark over here. I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, I wasn't in any immediate danger. I feel like sharks are kind of overhyped. Like, obviously, they'll do damage, but that's also anything in the water. I feel like I'm scared of turtles more than sharks, honestly. One, like, turtles are, like, sometimes too friendly. Like, they get up too close. And I feel like if a turtle wanted to, like, if it took a bite on me, it can definitely rip some chunks, you know? I think if we just respect all the amakuas and anything that's like territorial and like we shouldn't be messing with, just you don't gotta tell me twice not to swim next to a shark, you know, or swim next to a turtle. Like I'm good with all that. Like if it's, I have a general rule. If it's the same size as me, I don't want to mess with it. So right here in this clip, I just want to say what's up to Ed, the Eagle Ray. He's pretty chill. He was just vibing. He had to go get some groceries, you know what I'm saying, for the family back at home. I would talk to him a little bit. He was like, yeah, I'm just out here getting a couple things for the wife. And I was like, alright, bro, I respect it. I'll see you. Catch you next time. And over here, I got Fred the turtle. He's pretty chilling. He was just visiting his neighbor, Kyle. And Kyle's popping up in this clip right here. Say what up to Kyle, everyone. Let's spam in the comments, what up, Kyle? Alright, so in these following clips, I spotted a Roy. There's actually a series of 3 of them, which is kind of weird. I lined up my shot. And Roy, they'll do like this grouper dance is what I call it. They'll look at you, they'll do like a little flutter with their fins, kind of move their tail around, and that's when you have to shoot is what I learned. And you really have to like play it out by like ear is like what I like to say when it comes to Roy. If you drop or make any subtle movements that they don't like, they'll dip. If you look at them the wrong way, they'll dip. Right here, as you see, I'm trying to take out the fish. This is called braining it. This is my knife. I'm shoving my knife through the brain, kind of twisting it, just to take out the fish. I know it looks very inhumane to people who are not like accustomed to how dive culture is, but I'm telling you, this is the most humane way to eliminate a fish. It takes them out instantly, so they don't have to be scared and like It just pretty much takes them out their misery. And right here, I'm pretty much just showcasing my catch, the Roy. They have really nice skin. They're honestly one of my favorite fish, just by the way they look. And they can get pretty big, but they're an invasive species, so whenever I can, I like to take them off the reef. Like I mentioned earlier, I like to do 2 benefits for 1 gift that I receive from the land. I feel like this is kind of like my duty as a spearfisherman. I don't really see myself as like a hunter and gatherer, more so like an overseer of the land. I try to protect and like take care of what I can. And yeah, so in this next clip, I'm gonna be burying a Roy, also known as a black peacock grouper. They're one of the 3 major fish species that are invasive to Hawaii and do the most damage. But they kind of have this stigma around them for having higher levels of ciguatera, which is a foodborne illness, usually similar to food poisoning caused by eating fish that is contaminated by the ciguatera toxin.
Alright, so pretty much at this point is when my camera died, but as you've seen, I buried the Roy because it's not really like a popular fish to eat, but I'm really gonna try to get into like cooking them now because a couple of my buddies have told me that they actually eat it and it's like a popular thing among like Chinese cuisine. So be on the lookout for that. Whenever I shoot my next Roy, I'll for sure make a catch and cook. And I'm gonna make a catch and cook. I'm gonna make a catch and cook with the fish I shot in the video, such as the table boss. I made a beer batter taco slash burrito with it. It was pretty fire, and I have like a special twist on the beer I use, since I'm not a big drinker or like a drinker at all in that matter, you know. So in my little outro I forgot to record like an outtake where I pretty much thank you guys for like all your time and like showing me support on my video. And hopefully if you guys like really vibe with my content, you can like let me know like constructive criticism down in the comment on how I should improve, and maybe if I got some things wrong. I'm not perfect by any means, like feel free to correct me, like it's okay. Like I just ask that maybe not be so rude, but hey bro, like whatever floats your boat, just give it to me, you know. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my video, and I can't. Alright, so I pretty much just want to record an outtake just to thank y'all, because I forgot to say it, but I just want to like say like thank you guys. I appreciate so much of your guys' time, all 55 of my subscribers. Like, even though like I don't know any of you guys like in person, like you guys motivate me to do like to go out of the house and like to go out of my house and like work on my craft when it comes to like making these like YouTube videos. And I just want to say like non-romantically, but like I love you guys for like being able to like drive me even though I don't know you guys. And for you guys it's just like you're watching my content, but for me it's like someone's like appreciating like my work, you know. Kind of like I'm an artist, but like I don't want to consider my like work art by any means because I'm not like at that level yet. But I really like, hopefully like as my videos like as I start posting like more frequently, like my video quality starts to like improve, whether it's like through the like resolution as I get better equipment or better gear, and like you guys just slowly start to see me progress as like a, what is it called? I don't want to be considered like a YouTuber. Maybe like maybe I'll consider myself like a life journalist, where like these videos I try to communicate the way I see the world into like a video so I can like educate you all or like entertain you guys. And yeah, pretty much I just want to reinstate, like I just want to say thank you guys so much. I love you guys, like brother to brother or sister to sister or brother to sister. That's alright, you guys get the point. I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and please consider like liking, subscribing, like whatever your thing is. Just like let me know what you down